Alright, so this is a project that I've had in the works now. Been thinking about it basically since my first vlog and getting my first feedback. You know, the daily vlogs are really about me and my change, and I've received actually multiple emails now, which is impressive about how I'm inspiring people, how much my vlogs are affecting people daily. You know, and just how people out there think I'm doing something good by being open, by sharing my journey, by wanting to change and improve myself. So what this is going to be is a chance to hear those stories. I'm going to shoot for twice a month. On the 1st and the 15th of each month, I'm going to post a video called Your Change. And Your Change is going to be me interviewing someone in my life that I've come across, either I've known for a long time, or I've met recently through a vlog, or through work, or through church, or whatever it is, and I'm going to interview that person and talk about them and their change and the things in their life. So I hope you enjoy this idea. It's something different, and I'm really excited about it. Thank you to my friend Jenny, who is the first ever Your Change interview.
Hello, I'm Jen.
This is Jenny.
I'm Jen.
This is Jenny, and you're watching the Change Vlog.
This is the Change Vlog.
Watching the Change Vlog.
This is the Change Vlog.
I love it! So what was it like growing up with a pastor as a parent?
With a pastor as a parent?
Yeah.
It was good.
Obviously.
I always felt like I was held to a higher standard, not by my parents, but by people in the church, though.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that was tricky. But Mom and Dad were good about sitting us down and debriefing with us, and you know, we told them what happened when things happened, and they never held us to that standard because they knew that we were kids. And
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone that would understand more that we're imperfect and we're all born sinners, right? It should be a father who's a pastor.
yeah.
That's good.
So they were good about that. I think if it had been different, it would have been a lot harder. I know that there were like 5 pastors' kids in our class, weren't there? There were a lot of them.
Yeah, there were a few at Canandaigua.
And I don't know if all of them had that same kind of experience.
I mean, you obviously embraced it. You ended up going to a Christian college, right?
Yeah, I did. I went to Grove City. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Shout out to Grove City.
Props to Grove City.
Put a link to their college on there.
There you go. I definitely will.
Grove City College.
So, good.
Yeah.
So, what kind of, you know, obviously you went to church because your father taught, you know, the service, right? So, was there any kind of additional home teachings that, like, you know, a regular thing that you guys did in the house or anything like that? A Bible study or anything as a family?
We did.
Just curious.
Family devotions in the morning before school.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then as things would arise, Dad would address them, and usually from a biblical perspective, which was good to help us see that. And then when we went on vacation every summer to the Thousand Islands, and we obviously weren't going to church because we were on vacation,
Right.
we would always have church with my aunt and uncle. And they would all have, my aunt and uncle and my mom and dad would have different jobs. Like somebody would be the craft coordinator, and somebody would be the worship leader. So we would have mini church on vacation.
That's fun.
So, yeah.
I remember your house being kind of a musical one. You play both guitar and piano, correct?
I play piano not well. I played the flute. Guitar, I don't really. I can read a book and copy fingerings, but that's it.
Yeah. Do you feel like that has more to do with a musical family, or do you feel like the Christianity directly influenced that?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I don't know. Probably both. Probably. I don't know. Probably musical family. My mom was very musical growing up, and it just kind of was a part of what we always did at home. We sang and played, and yeah.
Very cool.
I'm not very good at being interviewed.
No, you're doing great.
No, I'm not.
No, you're totally being great.
Woo.
That's good. It's probably harder. It's probably harder with somebody who kind of knows your background and can pick at like things you haven't thought about in 15 years.
Let's think of some easy ones. Like,
should we go into past friends
how
and
old
groups?
are my children?
Yeah. So tell me about Hannah Grace.
Hannah Grace is 2, going on 30.
2 going on 30.
Yeah.
And she's obviously adorable.
She is a sweet girl, but she is very much like her mother. She is determined and stubborn and independent, and yeah, so that shows itself in a variety of different ways, which is a good thing. It's just a little trickier to parent.
So what, like, preconceived impression, what kind of thing did you have, idea you had about parenting before you actually became a mom 2 years ago that was bursted when you actually became a parent and you realized it wasn't quite like you pictured? Or
I think the only thing, I think I had a pretty realistic expectation of it because I had taught for so many years with really young children. So I think going into parenting, that was helpful for me and for my husband, but I think the biggest thing that was burst was the terrible twos. We thought, we would be able to handle it with dignity and grace and patience and calmness, and terrible twos are hard.
They are hard.
They are tricky. So.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny because I think for me, my experience in that was mostly about the communication. It's not like they want to like tell you something and they don't know how to communicate it to you, and that frustrates them. And a lot of times when they're acting out, it's not like 2's like this age where all of a sudden it's like, I'm gonna be bad to be bad.
Wow.
I feel like they act out of frustration a lot of the times.
That's what I think Hannah Grace went through that before. Like, we did kind of have that, and now I think we're in a stage of her just wanting to do everything herself and wanting to kind of assert her independence and, I don't know, testing the limits all the time. Yeah, I don't know, it's tricky.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
So tell me about Rebecca.
So Rebecca is 1. She just turned 1, and she is she is fun-loving and sweet and a child of extremes. She's either very, very happy or very not happy. And lets you know it very loudly. Yeah, so those are our 2 girls.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So at what age is the tube allowed?
It depends on if you ask her dad or her mom. John would like Hannah Grace on the tube now. I would like Hannah Grace on the tube at maybe 5 is pushing it, maybe 6.
Whoa, 6, huh?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if she would have like a professional career in tubing and we really need to start her young, but
Just
water and a 2-year-old who doesn't know how to swim is
well, yeah,
really
water and a
good
2-year-old that doesn't know how to swim. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Miley's 5 and she learned to swim across the pool this year with no life jacket.
Good.
So that's
see, 5 is realistic. I
5
do
is
not want her on a tube until she's a strong swimmer without a life jacket. Not that she would wear a life jacket on the tube, but I want her to be a good strong swimmer
Right.
before she does it.
I think there's a certain level of confidence of being a swimmer
Yeah.
with that, because just so that you don't panic when you fall off,
I
and
agree.
there takes a certain amount of time for the boat to turn around and get
Yeah.
back to you,
Yeah.
and you can't be in panic mode
I
as a
agree.
child, and that'd be traumatizing.
Yeah.
So I agree.
But Hannah Grace learned how to float with her life jacket and move her arms back and forth last week, so that's exciting. We're
Big
one step
steps.
closer.
Big steps.
One step closer.
So how many years married?
We had our 10th anniversary in March.
In March.
I hesitated because we celebrated in April.
You gotta fit it in where you can.
Yeah. So yep, 10 years.
10 years, congratulations on that. That's an amazing feat.
Thanks. So we've been together about 15. Married for 10.
Which is amazing to think.
So, isn't that weird that that's amazing to think?
Yeah, well, like, that's what I mean. We're like old enough, and that means that I've known you
A long time.
a long time. Like, that's
I know.
pretty crazy. Places we've gone and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. Thank you for the interview.
Anytime, Charles.
This is the first ever installment of interviews with the ChangeVlog.
What does this go under? What are the 4 categories this go under?
I would have to say there was a little bit of spiritual growth in here to compare other people's beliefs with your own, and to get an insight from opposite gender, from another parent, from someone who grew up in a different environment. Because again, as everyone knows my story from the third video, something like that, I did not grow up in a house of faith and a weekly church service and that kind of stuff. So to hear perspective from someone who did, that allows me to grow in that area.
Yeah.
So that.
And we can talk about finances in another episode, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, the whole trip to the public market addressed so many issues.
Oh, I know.
I mean, physical fitness. We bought nothing but healthy, good food.
Except when Chuck wanted to go to the baked goods, but I did not let him.
The baked goods did look amazing. I resisted. But so we obviously addressed physical fitness and a healthy lifestyle there.
And Charles counted all the money that we spent.
Exactly. She had a budget, and we came in way under the budget, like $17 under the budget.
And bought flowers in the budget.
Yeah, and there were even flowers and things that weren't necessarily food related.
For a wedding shower.
That's right. She has a wedding shower today. She went out and she bought some flowers for that. That was good. So you've got some financial, learning how to shop at a good price for healthy food, which is fitness and health.
And we walked a long distance to get there.
And you could argue, technically, too, there is a certain level of spirituality to being in a group of people, in a crowd.
Fellowship.
Exactly. Fellowship is the perfect word. I mean, we were surrounded with people, and our positive attitude while we were there. I mean, we had fun, and we, maybe we put a smile on someone's face today, or that band definitely put a smile on my face. Yeah. The band was awesome. So, I would have to say that was at least 3 of the 4 areas.
I think we are pretty well rounded today.
Yeah, and emotional wellness. I mean, I'm pretty happy. So we might have hit the jackpot.
You're in New York. You went to Wegmans.
Yeah, this is in the baseball equivalent of a grand slam right here. This is like ChangeVlog history, the first ever grand slam in
like
ChangeVlog.
The culmination.
Yeah, this is big time. This is yeah. We're making huge strides on the ChangeVlog. Areas, I guess, that have been greatly affected by all of these events over the past year, and I think that